I mean, I'll ask you about Zohar Mamdani. Zohar Mamdani, literally in the campaign, he was asked on Fox News about Hamas, and he refused to denounce it as a terrorist group.
They are a terrorist group, and they should have been denounced. I was there, as you know, a few weeks after.
Oh, how interesting. We've been watching for like 30 minutes. He has not made a single statement. He's just been asking questions and agreeing with stuff that Ben Shapiro says. Finally, we have found a subject that Gavin AIPAC, that's so interesting. AIPAC, I've never even heard anyone bring up AIPAC before. How interesting. No one's ever in the history of the universe ever said AIPAC to me before. Newsom has an opinion on. And it's whether or not Hamas is terrorists. How fascinating. How interesting.
I mean, look,
Israel did not commit a genocide in Gaza. There's no standard by which Israel committed a genocide in Gaza.
Except for the UN's and like every country's on earth and everyone, literally everyone, and the average American person, including Republicans, literally like everyone on earth, every standard. You know, I don't need to engage. This is a lost cause. This is like a lost fight. Ben Shapiro lost this one. He lost it so fucking hard that people are leaving his org because they want the freedom to be able to be anti-Israel.
Actual level,
just as a legal and factual level.
Yes.
Yeah.
To which Gavin Newsom immediately agrees. Yeah. To which just like that. The beliefs of his constituents, irrelevant. Factual reality, irrelevant.
Your opinion of this?
My opinion is, I understand the tendency for people to make that, to assert that.
Why?
On the basis of the images and the proportionality as it relates
doesn't mean genocide.
No. And by the way, I agree with you.
And international and
really? Oh, you do you?
And proportionality doesn't mean that if you kill my child and I then kill 7 criminals, that I've been disproportionate.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think but I understand that tendency on the basis of trying to reconcile the proportionate nature of how the war was ultimately.
Ben is fine with pushback. Yeah, notice how Ben Shapiro is like, at the moment any disagreement crops up, he's totally okay with like, no, wait, no. Like instant disagreement. Gavin Newsom will not do it.
I have a question. Why do you feel the need to create a permission structure for that sort of stuff? I mean, meaning it's not true. Yeah. Why not just say it's not true?
Yeah, look, I don't know the definition, or I don't know the legal threshold. That's not my opinion, so I don't share that opinion as it relates to genocide. I do not agree with that notion.
He's even backing off of backing off. Like his way of trying to thread this needle was saying, well, I don't think it's a genocide, but I could see how people would think that based on the overwhelming evidence that it is. And Ben Shapiro's like, no, there actually isn't any evidence that it is. Why would you even think that? Fucking stupid, anti-Semite. And Gavin Newsom's now saying, okay, well, you know, maybe some people just like think that way, you know?
But you do understand that if you accuse Israel of committing a genocide, that now puts Israel in the position of it should be a pariah state because states that commit.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Holy shit. It should be worse than a pariah state.
Genocide should be pariah states. Yeah. So granting legitimacy to that position inherently.
I'm not granting legitimacy. I'm just saying the devastation in Gaza at the human level. You've got 4 kids.
Of course, it's terrible.
No, but I think it's also important to absorb that a little bit more. Just as it was sick, and we were clear in our condemnation, these people like me, as it relates to what Hamas did in that act of barbarism and terrorism.
Yeah, but there's
now we have the loaded language. Interesting. Barbarism, terrorism. It's all this whole conversation's passed by 2 hours of talking, and now suddenly we found an issue that Gavin Newsom's passionate on. Wonder who's paid him money recently. Do you still think it should be glass? What's that quote from The Incredibles? The law requires that I answer no. Why is he doing this with Ben? Because Gavin Newsom, like many centrist Democrats, is kind of stupid and has stupid advisors. He listens to consultants, okay? And the consultants are saying, you can maintain corporate control over America if you run as the based and red-pilled, like blue MAGA Republican who is a Democrat. After Trump blows up and all of the insane, like overtly incompetent people in the White House go their ways, you can be the guy to step in and take control. The problem is that these people, the people who are giving him this advice, are stupid and old, and they think that Ben Shapiro is relevant when he's not. In fact, this actually distances him from everyone. Nobody likes Ben Shapiro. The liberals don't, and most conservatives don't now too. He's funnily enough, he's kind of a pariah within their own movement too. So it's a doomed effort, but unfortunately, Gavin Newsom is coming into 2028 with a lot of momentum, at least right now. I'm just saying, like, I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for him. Like, it doesn't matter what he does. I'm sorry. There's no reason to trust him. Character is important. Trustworthiness is important. He could put on the best show in the world for the next 2.5 years. How do I know he's not going to drop it the nanosecond he gets voted into office? Like, at least Kamala, I swear, like, Kamala Harris is a duplicitous motherfucker, but she comes across as a lot more honest than Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is an insanely dishonest person. All the time, every day, no positions except what benefits him. Yeah, I'm not voting for him. So what do we do if Newsom's the candidate? Then it sucks. I don't know. I'm not voting for him. I'm sorry, what do you want? Like, you have to have standards. I know we've all enjoyed engaging in like the hyperbolic, test the consistency of your positions. 100% Hitler versus 99% Hitler. And yes, 99% Hitler is better than 100% Hitler. But in the real world, where there are like, consequences for normalizing the idea that the Democrats can get away with a candidate like this, it would probably be worse to have Governor Newsom as a candidate, as a president, than to just have another Republican. At least, like, if Gavin Newsom loses, we might be able to sell the message that people like him are unacceptable as presidential candidates. But if we accept him, then what do we get after him? Republicans. And what do we get during him? Republicans. No difference.
Between deliberate terrorism and wartime collateral damage, of course. And if we refuse to acknowledge that reality, then we end up equating
collateral damage. I have stronger opinions. It wasn't just collateral.
Really, you think that Israel is targeting civilians?
It's like peering into a different time, like a different reality, man. Wow, really? You think Israel was targeting civilians? Delusional. What? It's crazy. It's just unimaginable. Like to still be here. Even I think the average Republican would not endorse this position at all anymore. By the way,
I think some of the double tapping issues. I have a lot of issues with how Bibi ultimately conducted the war. I personally do, and I have a lot of issues that are also painted on the basis of the conversation I had with a few weeks later after October 7th. The way he talked about the Palestinians, I kept talking about Hamas. He kept talking about the Palestinians. I kept coming back to Hamas, and then ultimately how the war was conducted. Not saying it was a genocide. I'm not, but I have issues.
What is the thing that
so conciliatory? So fucking weak, so conciliatory. On no pushback can be allowed, none whatsoever. Because they serve the same masters, right? So like, why would he? So you're saying enduring 4 more years of Republicans in 2028 would be preferable to Newsom? Yes, I do believe that, 100%. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I think that's like a very defensible position. For the same reason that it would have been better if Trump had won in 2020. Because all we did by letting Biden win in 2020 was let Trump's goons cook for 4 years so that when they came back, they could bring fascism 2 to the front, rather than them just continuing a doomed, terminally unpopular presidency. You never would have had that big swing around with like young people and Latin voters. If Trump had won in 2020, he would have been like neutered the entire time. If Newsom wins in 2028, it is the end times, truly. Like after that, it's just going to be Republicans. And by the way, under Newsom, it'll be Republicans too. Do you think the fact that Newsom is president will keep Republicans from being in charge? Are you watching this interview?